to all our brothers and sisters across the world. I hope we are taking care of ourselves. Please take care of yourself. Look after your health. Look after your family. Look after your friends. Look after your neighbors. Look after your community. And try and stay safe. Today is 29th of December, and we extend you a very warm welcome. And today is Tuesday, and then of course we have got 30th and 31st, 2 more days to go, Wednesday and Thursday, as far as 2020 is concerned. Thank God 2020 is getting over because lots of people world over has suffered a lot. We have gone through lots of difficulties, lots of challenges, lots of problems, and this COVID-19 has brought so much of disruption and a new order of living, a new order of thinking, a new order of everything, including our health and education. Both are very, very important for our life. So it has brought a new pedagogies, new andragogy, a new way of life. What exactly the world is going to be the new order, but with a very positive hope. Yesterday on 28th of December, you can see it on the GS Motivator YouTube channel. Yesterday we discussed about school education. Today we are going to talk about higher education, because after school education, when the foundation, everything, all that has been laid strong with values, with conviction, and with the new education policy, particularly which has been announced in India, it's something is wonderful that children, because in school education, when they're having coding, they have got vocational, they have got skills, they're visiting corporate houses, and everybody, the world is going to be altogether different, and India will certainly emerge, re-emerge, and it will come up in a very big way as far as the empowering youth, empowering education is concerned. So, ladies and gentlemen, today I wish to share with all of you the higher education. What is the vision of our chamber? What do we consider from our chamber? How do we look at the higher education? I'm going to discuss with you thread by thread so that all of us we are together. So let's take a journey together. Let's enter into 2021 together. The future of education, how it would be, how the higher education would look like. This program is coming live on the YouTube GS Motivator. I would request all my brothers and sisters, those are watching this program, kindly share with others also, so that more and more people, knowledge is to be shared, vision is to be shared, information to be shared, and it grows, multiplies. So, hearty welcome, and we get together into higher education future. Let's take a journey and let's move forward. What exactly how our chamber looks at. International Chamber for Service Industry ICSI extends you a very warm welcome, and it's a pleasure to have all of you this afternoon with us on 29th of December. And India is proud that we have got 31 million our brothers and sisters abroad in different countries. Those are doing wonders. And during this pandemic, our chamber basically took a responsibility of making education relevant. So we were with schools, colleges, universities, polytechnics, ITI, skill centers, competencies, whatever you can think of, we all were together. Now, ladies and gentlemen, what is the importance of higher education? During this pandemic, we also had special sessions, and we are taking the journey onward now. And I personally feel now this is going to be the integral part of ICSI journey in 2021. Every Saturday, every Saturday at 5 p.m., we will have a very special program on Vivekanandaji's teachings on education and youth, and how basically the world has to be empowered. What does he say? Swami Vivekanandaji, long time back, he conveyed, and remember, 11th of September 1893, don't forget, we want that education by which character is formed, strength of mind is increased, the intellect is expanded, and by which one can stand on one's own feet. Wow, what a great soul, what a great man. Let's get into the entrance of globalization and higher education, rethinking the role of the state and responses to recent challenges. What all do we have to do? Because the whole world has suffered, and 1.86 billion approximately children away. So thought processes got affected during this COVID, business got affected, physical and mental health got affected, and the main part of the universe is education also got deeply affected. Now, this COVID 19 has given a lot of new lessons to all of us, and particularly when we are talking about higher education, the pathway forward after the pandemic, what it is going to be. Let's peep deep into it. We are proud of Deloitte's research, what they have done. It's a wonderful job, what they have given. And as per the Deloitte report, higher education in a post COVID 19 world, while uncertainty pervades all aspects of higher education right now, that is virtual learning, remote work, uncertain financial conditions, constraints, enrollment, it is inevitable that many colleges and universities will be operating in a very different environment in a post COVID 19. And some of the institutions have to close down because it won't be possible. We do not know how many students will return to schools, colleges, universities, and institutions. So we got to rethink, we got to repackage, we got to re-equip. And as per Deloitte, what is conveyed over here, remote delivery, rapid restructuring, student well-being, uncertain enrollment, increased cyber risk, and Title IV compliance, and then long-term solvency, immediate, short-term, and long-term, all these measures which we have to take post-COVID. The world of higher education after COVID 19, these are the five verticals we will discuss in detail: education, research, internationalization, social engagement, and governance. Because these five pillars, when we talk about, let's take one by one. Education, when we are talking about, during the lockdown, universities had to quickly adapt to their educational offer into an online format. And what are the new teaching methods, tools, and formats that have been emerging so far? Which of these will remain after the pandemic? That is something very, very important. Now, we take hybrid teaching, what we talk about, new methods of teaching, evaluation, and assessment by virtual means, that will increase and improve. And the student experience will be the starting point. Great attention will be given to the role of emotion and to the affective dimension of teaching and learning, bringing the human experience at the center. The overall educational offer will be a perfect blend of formal, informal, physical, and virtual element. More opportunities will be offered for upskilling, reskilling, and earning whilst learning through flexible delivery model, lifelong learning. Now, ladies and gentlemen, gone are the days when you just do a graduation and masters, you join a particular company and you retire from there only with a memento and your pension check and your last gratuity. That's not going to happen. Each one of us is going to change lots of jobs throughout the service. Now, research, the impossibility to access research infrastructures has put a strain on the non COVID 19 related research. Many researchers are unable to collect data or carry out other activities which are crucial for their work. Also, this has often delayed projects that are dependent on external funding. How have researchers adapted so far? Which tools and methods are they using, and how will research collaborations will be shaped in the future? Now, there are different kind of horizons which are given. Some research mobility exchanges will be postponed to later in 2021, which is we are stepping in after 2 days. Inequalities in research outputs will become apparent as a result of the lockdown. Researchers with family care responsibilities will continue with their research with more difficulties. Due to the economic implications of recurring lockdowns, funding for research outside COVID 19 related disciplines might be reduced. More funding will be invested in research in the hard sciences, especially in the medical and life sciences, with a decline in interest in funding academic programs and research in the humanities and social sciences. Let us see how it's going to be, because this is again, once again, debatable, because unless mentally you're not happy, physically you're not happy, so art, culture, your craft and your cuisine and organic and all that, everything has to be taken into consideration. International cooperation among researchers will be strengthened by way of online tools and geographical distances will be less of a barrier, and the new technologies will allow for a much higher degree of cooperation, enabling mapping of research capacities, ongoing creation of knowledge, and automatic connection of researchers through artificial intelligence. Research success will no longer will be based only on publications, but also new indicators will be in use. And I am of a strong believer that this printing work will go down. It will go down drastically. Earlier, a lot of book release were there and everything. Yes, there may be a virtual book release that can be, but now let's come to internationalization. It goes without saying that internationalization, as we know, it has been massively affected by the pandemic. The current model, heavily based on physical mobility, has been both hindered and called into question. How are the universities counterbalancing this loss, and how will internationalization will be reshaped in the months and years to come? Can universities turn into an opportunity? Now, there are a couple of things. Let's talk about blended mobility. When we talk about blended mobility, mobilities will start virtually and will end physically. Depending on the pandemic situation, some student may decide to move abroad while still forwarding the classes, following the classes virtually. And at least at the beginning, for some universities, there will be a double effort on international recruitment as well as on their local and their own natives led national recruitment. For others, will be focused on maximizing the intake of the local and national students, because internationally people will have psychological barriers whether I should travel or not. If I'm that far and if something goes wrong, how will I come back? When will I come back? Welcome days and induction, weeks will be held online format involving local students. At the same time, providing peer-to-peer support to international students will be part and parcel of the student study circle and cycles. A smart way to keep them engaged while developing new traversal skills. That is transversal skills. Local students will be key in engaging with international students who do their mobility online. They can both gain from a virtual exchange, linguistic competencies, tutoring, and IT skills, and many others. The meaning of partnership will be redefined. Now, partnership will be no longer based mostly on mobility, but on all types of agreements we have to take into fostering into virtual type of exchanges. In case the students doing a virtual mobility program, a compensation mechanism will be put in place to make sure that they have an access to IT infrastructure necessary to follow the online education. Now, social engagements. One aspect that COVID-19 crisis has unveiled and reinforced in the human beings and social dimension of the universities. This will, will this continue when we go back to normal? Now, this is something very important. Due to the economic impact, many of the local businesses that offered opportunities for students' engagement before the crisis might no longer be in a position to continue doing so, resulting in a decline of community engagement activities in areas not necessarily related to COVID-19 management crisis. Then another area, Horizon 2, is new institutional platforms and channels will be established to better connect societal needs and non-academic partners with our university communities. Partnership will be encouraged to share resources and work towards common objectives. That is something like academy, industry, job roles, public sector university collaborations, NGO universities agreements, and many others. Engaging with society and sharing knowledge with citizens, having volunteering schemes will become key activities for universities. Societal engagement will no longer be limited to the university's own local sphere. Rather, international societal engagements will be a commonplace. Then comes governance. Now, this is again very important part which we have to take a strong pillar. The crisis has equally brought many organizational changes, forcing institutions to rethink their priorities and their governance models. How will this affect universities in the future? University will have embedded structures of professional development of their staff running throughout the whole life of the academic development, researchers, teachers, staff, and leaders. These training will address possible gaps related to IT literacy, online communication skills, advanced skills on students' engagement, and special attention to students' needs. Universities will have developed a strong cyber resilience, and teaching staff will be familiar with the safety rules to follow when handling online tools. The focus of university leaders will go well beyond the delivery of the curriculum, also concentrating on student support from a staff perspective. Structures for students' well being will be strengthened and be always available both in person and online. Now, ladies and gentlemen, before COVID-19, it has accelerated जो existing higher education trends, and what exactly is the post COVID, that means after disease. From It will be shifting from student demographics to an enrollment roller coaster, from evolving preferences for academic delivery to a surge in demand for online adoption, from policy related funding shift to widespread financial instability, from traditional recruitment and retention tactics to need for a fluid, frictionless, and engaging student experiences, from IT as a service provider to IT as a critical mission partner, from internal operational transformation to migration to an elastic workshop, from increasing activation of partnership to radical business model transformation. This all is the part of the same research which Deloitte has done. In the coming 5 years, we will have more than 50 major online universities, many of them powered by partnership with major Fortune 500 corporations and sports marketing budgets. And every other institution else will be scrambling to survive. Now, students empowered and equipped with both the digital and social emotional skills that tomorrow's fast changing work landscape will require. Now, ladies and gentlemen, emotional touch and, positive thinking and particularly social and emotional skills, they are going to play a very important role in future. As more learning moves online, expect a major effort to develop and deploy a Facebook for learning. You will see something highly professional site powered by artificial intelligence that curates individuals' learning opportunities and documents outcomes. So that all is going to be the change in future. Life skills and workforce preparations. 91% of the CEOs globally say that they need to strengthen their organization's soft skills to sit alongside digital skills. Now, this is very important, ladies and gentlemen. Soft skills are going to be very, very important in future, along with the life skills. So, flexibility, leadership, initiative, productivity, and social skills, we will talk in detail. When we talk about resilience, it must be built into our educational system. It is very, very important for the coming to time. Now, how India will get foreign students? Will we keep getting the student those are coming at present? Okay, fine. Their number also may reduce. So how will we get? Who will be the people who would like to be associated with India? India in the new education policy is talking about 100 best universities and then foreign collaborations and everything. And at the same time, the government of India, Ministry of Education, is also encouraging that our Indian universities should go out, they should move out, and they should set up their campuses abroad. So that part also has to be taken into considerations. And all that when we have considered and we have taken into why somebody will come to India, why people will come to India. So you got to understand materialistically, materialistically, the capital countries and so-called the rich capital countries and so-called the developed countries, they have got everything, but emotions would be required. Emotional healing would be required. spiritual quotient would be required, spiritual quest would be there. So somewhere India has to package its program in a way where there's a yoga, meditation, naturopathy, spiritual quest satisfaction, and atma ki tripti, jisko hum bolte hain, that part has to be taken into consideration. People would love to come. India world over is known for that, and we got to be taking into consideration that particular, the advantage. Now, our ICSI has got some strong recommendations for Indian corporate, and then of course we have got requests to the NRIs also. When we talk about recommendations, come forward. All the corporate houses, we would request you, please come forward. 29th of July, the Honorable Prime Minister of India and the Education Minister and the entire education fraternity of the government, they have given the roadmap, they have given the policy. Now it is to be implemented and then it is to be monitored. So when we go to the implementation stage, it requires a lot of support. Now, when there are financial crises also, in a way, when you take into consideration world over, the whole world is shaken up because of this COVID-19. So it is very important for us to understand that if education sector, government has given one of the best policy to all of us, and now it is up to state governments, how do they implement this particular policy. Of course some flexibility would be required, because local art, craft, culture, cuisine, values, and dances, music, and art, science, commerce, all that clubbed together, whatever suits you. And then there is a beautiful provision in the policy. If you do not have, as an educational institution, complete facilities, cluster with your neighboring partners. And that cluster is going to be something beautiful. Partner with the private and partner with the government, partner with everybody, so that you build up a beautiful ecosystem and everybody can be helped over there. So now, corporate sector, it's a humble appeal from our chamber, International Chamber for Service Industry. The recommendation we have just listed, 6, 7 for you, so that you understand these 5, 6 recommendations are very good. So first of all, you got to focus and you got to help us out to empower the education ecosystem. Government should also give such incentives with its policy from the Ministry of Finance, rules and regulations, that the corporate, those are ready to invest under CSR or whatever is there, they should be keen to invest in education. Number two, special economic zone should be converted to special education zones. And when I'm talking about clustering also, there should be a separate provisions for that. And we should encourage, we should strengthen, we should recognize, we should appreciate. All that has to be done. The pepping up also has to go simultaneously, because anybody's good efforts has to be recognized, appreciated. 2% under the, when we talk about, it should go to the education sector for the next 5 years. Can government work on that? Because that would support the 6% of the GDP also. Imagine the scenario when education, government making policy, wonderful policy, futuristic policy, pragmatic policy, innovative policy, creative policy, dynamic policy, vibrant policy. Now it has to be implemented. So the corporates, you come forward and if you join hands with the government, I'm pretty sure the in India, not only India, the world would be a different place altogether. So let's take 500 top Indian corporate. They should contribute to education sector for the next 5 years. And Government of India, we would make a humble request. Ministry of Education, along with Ministry of Skill Development, along with Ministry of MSME, along with other, the main ministries, because in isolation, nothing can be grown. And the most important is that the Ministry of IT, what we have got for the electronics, they should be kind enough that along with the other ministry, their budget should also be more, because in February, the budget is coming. The next budget, I think particularly, now you do not require physical construction, you require virtual construction. That means you have to give better connectivity, you have to give seamless connectivity, you have to give some basic equipment which has to be given to children, more television channels to be dedicated to education, more radio frequencies to be FM radios and others. All India, I mean to say the government has done beautiful. If 138 crore population of the country, if they could be made to go on in these 9 months of pandemic, salutation to government of India and salutation to state governments. They have tried their level best, and of course हमारी योद्धा जो हैं, they are the educators, our teachers, our principals, our vice chancellors, our directors, our technocrats. Technocrats को नहीं भूलना है, because technocrats have done a great job. Had they not given the seamless facility whatever is available with us, बच्चों को किसी भी तरीके से उन्होंने पहुंचाया कि इनके तक पहुंचना चाहिए. So government of India to focus on seamless connectivity, basic equipment which is required for digital education, no construction, no physical construction of four walls. Entire budget has to go in the direction, and at the same time, because our chamber is dealing with non-resident Indians, Indian diaspora, my brothers and sisters, those are watching this program in different countries at different places, only one humble request to you: don't invest in anything else. Don't invest in anything else. Just come forward only for one thing, and that is education. Empower education, because if you empower education and if our youth get developed, lot of population world over is aging, and they would require younger generation. If India provides the younger generation well skilled, well equipped, well strategically channelized, I'm telling you, it's a win-win situation for everybody world over. These children will do wonders abroad. They will get a good job abroad. They will support whatever best they can do from their side. And the whole humanity gets empowered over there. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the new order of the world. Our chamber is going 100% with this, and which is needed, which is required. Education got to be the focus, blended and clubbed with skills, and then of course empowered with entrepreneurship. रोजगार के बारे में जॉब मत मांगिए, जॉब के बारे में मत सोचिए. हर एक टीचर, हर एक एजुकेटर, हर एक शिक्षा का संस्थान, ओनली वन थिंग वी हैव टू वर्क ऑन: education for empowerment, education for entrepreneurship. That is the way we have to bring the new slogan and the new thought process. हमको thought process change करना पड़ेगा. जॉब 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 जॉब, अरे छोड़ो. Entrepreneurship, startup, हमको वो लाना पड़ेगा. So education, skills and MSME, micro, small and medium enterprise, playing very important role for all of us. भारत को पुनः विश्व गुरु बनना है, and world, global, the destination for education, India has to be global study destination. पुनः भारत की स्थापना उस तरीके से विश्व गुरु से होनी है. हमारा चेंबर इस समय तकरीबन 26 वेबिनार पर वीक कर रहा है. We might switch over to 30. We will see how the things are shaping up and how the things are developing. We are looking forward to. आप में से कोई भी अपने विचार शेयर करना चाहता है, बात रखना चाहता है, बताना चाहता है, कोई भी शिक्षा के संस्थान में जो लोग जुड़े हुए हैं, should you wish to give your ideas, anybody on this planet, any idea is a good idea. Any idea can shape and can make many people's life. So thereby, ladies and gentlemen, ये देखिए, इसी प्रोग्राम के बाद 1:30 बजे we have got the next program lined up. उसके बाद 3 बजे प्रिंसिपल्स आ रहे हैं, next program lined up. शाम को 5 बजे मीडिया एंटरटेनमेंट स्किल काउंसिल आ रही है, lined up. और रात को आज NRIs आ रहे हैं. 8 बजे एक विशेष कार्यक्रम, and the honorable Professor Anil Sahastra Buddheji, the chairman of the AICT, along with non-resident Indians, we are going to have a very special program tonight at 8 p.m. and that is going to be non-resident Indian diaspora for empowering Indian youth and entrepreneurship. Let us make education relevant. Ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow is 30th. We will have a wonderful deliberation and discussions tomorrow when we are going to talk about skills, we're going to talk about entrepreneurship, and we're going to talk about micro, small, and the medium enterprise. This will be taking tomorrow at 12:30 in the afternoon. Don't forget to join us. whatsoever human mind can conceive and believe it can achieve. Let's come together. Let's make education relevant. And this particular chamber, this particular forum is a confluence of educators, motivators, technocrats, counselors, wellness experts, corporate, government administrator, decision maker, everybody whosoever can empower the education ecosystem. Our website is listed over here, our email id is right over here, and then there is a WhatsApp number also. Should you wish to send us any suggestion, we await your kind and valuable inputs. Thank you very much for joining us today for the higher education. Look forward meeting you for the next program at 1:30 today. And tomorrow, don't forget, we're going to talk about skills. We're going to talk about competencies. We're going to talk about entrepreneurship. And we're going to talk about micro, small, and medium enterprise. And we will also tell you tomorrow what exactly is available for the youth. Where from do you get your finance for startup? Where from do you get your money for stand up? And how can you become an entrepreneur? What are the government schemes available for you? How can you really equip yourself? With these words, I'm signing off. I'll see you at 1:30 again in the next program of today's. And stay safe, stay fine. Wishing you all the wonderful 2021. And we don't want to remember 2020. People have suffered a lot. People have suffered a lot. Wish you all a wonderful health, wellness, good future, good tomorrow.